Her fame by going round to healing folks. Alright guys, today we are doing something that I have been doing for about 9 years, and it's one of my favorite things to do, is to take a known style and do a little tweak on it. And in this case, that tweak is very simple. It's just changing the yeast. So about 9 years ago, when black IPA was a thing, I made a couple of India black lagers. I just used the lager yeast in the winter, and then I started using lager yeast for IPA. So India Pale Lager. I was using a hop shot. I did a hop stand, and I really like that result. Today I'm doing also a lager yeast, but I am using some hops that I got from our friend Chris Paynes. He moved, and he had a bag of hops, and I only took a little bit, but I still probably took a pound or pound and a half. So what we're doing is something I'm going to call Bird versus Fish IPL, and that is because we have Chinook going into this bad boy, and, wait for it, Falconer's Flight. Also a little Citra to boot. Grain bill is pretty simple. Basically, it's 14 pounds of whatever base malt you want. In this case, I have mostly Barca Pils and a little bit of two-row. Half pound Belgian Carapils, half pound Karastan 3040L, and I do about a pound of white sugar. That's somewhat traditional for a big double IPA type of beer. So we got the mash going. We're gonna do the brewing today, and we are probably, I suppose, we'll do a tasting. I'm kind of curious on how those hops all come together. I need to do a quick shout out to Imperial Organic Yeast. They have been supplying the Chop and Brew crew with some yeast, and it's been great. I've used, I'm on my second strain. I used the Harvest strain lager a number of times, and now I'm using the Global strain. And I have in the clip of the video that I'm going to call Hellish, which is a take of Hellas, I talk more about this particular harvesting scenario or instance. But man, this yeast starter, so I had a bunch of washed yeast, and I made this starter last night, and that is just a thing of beauty. So here we go, brew on, and see how this comes out. Something I don't do too often is first wort hops, and that is because usually I'm doing the mash and wort collection at night, and I don't want to add the hops at that time and you know, have them sit all night. But I'm doing it all at once today, so thought I would give it a shot. So there goes 1 ounce of Chinook. It's been an hour. It's time to start the hop stand process. I'm going to do a 2-stage process. I'm going to try to get some bitterness out of this hop stand, which you can do if you put them in right when it's this hot, and let them sit for a while. I didn't overly bitter it at the beginning, thinking that I can get a little more bitterness out of here. There was a brewlosophy experiment where they, I think they did a beer where they only got the bitterness from hops added at the end like this, and it actually was pretty close to just doing, adding them in the beginning. They did a comparison, and they actually had it tested for IBUs. So at any rate, I'm going to let this sit 15 minutes like this, and then I'm going to start cooling it down, and once it just kind of drops a little bit, then I will add some more. So it's been about 20 minutes now since I added those other hops. It is below 180, and it will be dropping quickly. I have snow, ice water all around, so it is going to be dropping quick. So here go 1 more ounce of Citra, 1 more ounce of Falconer's Flight. And I don't know about the time on this. It's still going to take a while to cool it down to fermentation temp anyway, so maybe I'll give it like 5 minutes like this and then start the rest of the chilling process. So it's coming in the upper 1060s, maybe around 1070 once I can get a good reading. I collected a little over 5 gallons, but I actually had almost 8 gallons pre-boil, which was kind of a lot, so I used these 2 4-gallon pots on my stove to reduce the volume. But at any rate, time to pitch this Imperial Organic Yeast Global strain. And then I will aerate with my pure oxygen system and get it in the closet and let her rip. It's laundry and IPL time.
That's right, y'all.
Alright.
The L stands for laundry. Imperial Pale Laundry.
That's right. Big pile of laundry. In your house, pile of laundry.
Indoor pile of laundry.
It's getting clearer, eh?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's more about how it tastes, and we'll get right to that. Speaking of pressure, here we are, bird versus fish. India Pale Lager. You've seen the videos before. This is yes.
This beer?
Yeah, because the bird is the Falconer's Flight.
Yeah.
The fish is the Chinook.
I get it.
I believe I went over all these ingredients
Bird versus
in an
fish.
earlier video. It finished at 10:12. The original final, you know what I'm saying. It was 1074. Remember on the brew day, it looked like you couldn't really tell, and it looked like it might be in the upper 1060s, but after it all, the foam settled, it was 1074. So, is this one throwing off some aroma?
You like this style of beer.
I do.
You make this.
I just made it again, like, after this.
Oh, so you've done 2 of these this year?
Yeah, 2 in a row even. It's kind of ridiculous. But I had a lot of ingredients.
Yeah.
There's all those Chris Payne's hops.
Yeah, Chris Payne's.
Major Payne's.
Chris Payne's just like made it rain and then moved to Denver. It's like, here's a bunch of hops.
So the hops at the end are Citra and Falconer's Flight, which the Falconer's Flight is a blend of Pacific Northwest hops, tropical citrus, floral, lemon, grapefruit tones. Some of the hops in the blend are Citra, Simcoe, Sriracha Ace. Yeah. There you go. Blend, I thought this was interesting. Blend created to honor and support the legacy of Northwest brewing legend Glenn Hay Falconer. I did not know that. And I did go read a little bit about Glenn, and that was kind of interesting. So, also Citra is grapefruit, melon, lime, passion fruit, musky tropical fruit, etc. Grapefruit is sort of a reoccurring theme.
Yeah.
Of these.
And you get it. I get the floral though. I mean, I think the Falconer's Flight is actually kind of standing out in this, and it makes sense if it's in there several times.
So the hops in was 1 ounce Falconer's Flight, 1 ounce Citra, hold for 15 minutes. Then I cooled it down. Then I did the same thing, Falconer's Flight and Citra again. So Chinook is the bittering, and then at 15 minutes, so you might get a little pine from the flavor, but also grapefruit is kind of bitter as well. I just think that it's a nice mashup of a lot of fun, flavorful, yummy hop flavors, but then with this, the Barca Pils.
Barca Pils is always
a lot of really good, a little maybe on the sweeter side of a Pils malt, but you get a lot of the malt flavor is still there. And 1012 from 1074, I wouldn't want it to go too much lower, so I think that's a good final gravity. Somebody recently was...
Yeah, and you mash fairly low-ish.
Yeah.
As well, so it's not like...
It does have a pound of white sugar as well, so that's going to help it get to a lower final gravity. somebody was talking about you can kind of hide, if you can do it reasonably well, you can even hide your brewing skill or your lack of brewing skill behind a mountain of hops. I thought that was kind of an interesting way to look at it. I never really thought about it that way, because you can certainly have hoppy beers that are too bitter, not balanced, maybe too sweet, maybe not hoppy enough, right? Like IPAs that are just kind of no hops. So however this one comes out, whenever it comes out like this, I usually am happy with it. This is about what I'm hoping for when I make a beer like this. Some bitterness, certainly not overly bitter. Do you think it's too sweet for you?
Not compared to other ones I've had from you specifically. And IPL shamefully is not something that I feel like you can get a lot of commercial examples, so I really kind of consider you my commercial example.
Well, even if you're just thinking of a IPA, just a hoppy beer.
No, I don't think so, because it is imperial. It's supposed to be big. This is not supposed to be like.
It's getting clear now.
This is not supposed to be your Bohemian Pilsner. You know what I mean? That you're drinking a bunch of on a summer day.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't do the
final.
it's
got a couple of Cara.
It's probably 7.5% or so. I didn't actually calculate the alcohol, but it's got to be. Actually, maybe closer to 7.8, something like that.
I don't think it's too sweet, personally.
What about this concoction of hops? Works okay?
Yeah, because they're not they're not IPA tasting. Like, they're smooth, they're mellow, they feel like they're kind of, I don't know, I'm just getting a lot of this floral.
I was getting some melon right now. It's probably suggestive also. Although that's Citra, the lime, I think the grapefruit, the melon, the lime, I think the Citra is kind of what I'm tasting almost more than smelling. But at any rate, I've done more than one of these videos on India Pale Lager, hop stand, using a hop shot, which I did not do this time. I just used pellets to bitter it. But I also am a fan of using the hop shot. I just find it's a nice way to make a flavorful, balanced, big hoppy beer that you will like. And that's what I have to say about that.
That's the tale of the tale of the tape.
What do you have to say about that? All right. Anyway, yeah, this turned out good.
It is good.
Tell me your hoppy beer tricks. How do you get the hops flavor and everything that you like? What kind of malts do you like? What kind of yeast do you like?
Does this get clearer?
It might. It's been in the keg since 3/25. March 25th. Today is April 5th. So 11 days or so it's been in the keg. And I did not use gelatin on this. I will on a Pilsner, a Helles, and I want those just super clear. This one will probably get clearer. It's pretty clear already, but I think in another week it'll be clearer too. Anyway, thanks for coming over. Let's cheers it up. Catch you later.